There are lives in this world that cannot speak. They don't cry out. They don't demand answers. They simply look up at you and quietly ask, "Did I do something wrong?" Today, I want to share a story with you. The story of one small golden puppy and the people who chose to see him. Stay with me until the end. One afternoon in March, at an animal shelter in Washington state, the front door opened. A man walked in, cradled in his arms a 5-month-old golden retriever puppy. Soft golden fur, wide, wondering eyes, an age when the whole world still feels like magic. The man placed the puppy on the counter and said, without hesitation, "I have a dog I need to get rid of." The staff paused. "Get rid of?" Those words hung in the air. They asked, gently, "What's his name?" The man shook his head. "He doesn't have one." "How long have you had him?" 3 days. "Why are you surrendering him?" He shrugged. "He's just a nuisance." There was no proper leash. Just a rope tied to a carabiner on the puppy's collar. As if he were luggage. 3 days. No name. And just like that, this puppy's first life was over. The shelter staff gently took the puppy into their arms. His whole body was shaking. A new place. Strange smells. The sounds of other dogs echoing from every direction. Cold fluorescent light. No mother. No familiar face. No understanding of why he was here. Volunteer Julie Saraceno saw him for the first time and later recalled. "The shelter is very loud. I think it's very scary for a new dog when they're here." The puppy kept looking around nervously, his eyes darting from corner to corner. "Where am I? What happens next? Is anyone coming for me?" There were no answers. All he could do was tremble. Julie decided to give him a name. Waffles. Because his golden fur looked just as warm as a freshly made waffle. For the first time in his short life, someone in this world called him by name. Waffles. Julie and the team decided to give Waffles a bath. The moment warm water began to run down his back, something shifted. The trembling slowed. The tension melted away. His eyelids grew heavy and soft. Julie watched in disbelief. "I have never seen a dog so relaxed in a bath before." It was like a spa day for him. A puppy who had been thrown into the world, shaking with fear in a place he didn't know, finally exhaled from one stream of warm water. I think Waffles understood something in that moment. "These hands won't hurt me. This water is safe. Maybe this place is okay." When the bath was over, Waffles wagged his tail for the very first time. After his bath, Waffles was moved to his kennel, his small space inside the shelter. The fear crept back. Strange smells, cold floor, metal bars. Then Julie walked in and simply sat down on the floor beside him. She didn't say anything. She just stayed. Waffles watched her from the corner at first. Slowly, he moved closer. He sniffed. And then, gently, he leaned his small body against her. 30 minutes passed. Waffles fell asleep, right beside Julie. She remembered it this way. After about 30 minutes, he was like, "Okay, it's not so bad." Nothing had been fixed. He still had no home. He still had no family. But someone was there, and that was enough for Waffles to close his eyes. Friends, what did you feel watching this story? When I think of Waffles, one image stays with me. Julie, sitting on a cold shelter floor, saying nothing, just being there. You don't need the right words. You don't need to fix anything. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can offer someone is simply your presence. We all know what it feels like to be left behind. A relationship that quietly ended. A role we once had that disappeared. Something we loved, gone without warning. In those moments, we don't always need grand gestures or perfect advice. We need someone who will sit down beside us on the cold floor and stay. Just like Waffles fell asleep in 30 minutes, we too can find rest when someone chooses to remain. Look around you today. Is there someone in your life Who might be trembling quietly? Too tired to ask for help? Waiting for someone to simply notice? You don't have to say a word. Just sit beside them, that is enough. And just as Waffles wagged his tail when he saw Julie, that person will find their way back too. Waffles was adopted the moment he was ready. He came with no name, and left wrapped in love. Now someone calls his name every morning. Every evening, someone feeds him, holds him, and calls him theirs. Waffles finally went home, and right now, in shelters everywhere, there are so many more like him, waiting for someone to look their way and say, "I see you." Thank you so much for watching until the end. If this story moved you, please share it with someone who needs to hear it today. And if you'd like to keep receiving stories like this one, subscribe and hit the bell. We'll see you in the next one.